guys, welcome back again from Tampa Bay. Today I've got a review of a 2014 Royal Enfield Classic 500 in military green, as you can see. Now this model is very similar to all the other Bullets, which are all similar to one another. Main difference between this and the normal one is primarily the seat and a 1-inch smaller front wheel, which I don't think you're going to notice. This is a fun around town bike. Let's go ahead and hop on, get it going. I've got it up on the center stand, and you need to do that in order to use the Kickstarter. The fuel pump doesn't activate until you put the side stand up. So I'm going to turn the switch on, flip the Kickstarter out, give it a go. Key on. One more go. One more, come on. Ow. Slipped off the peg there. Very, very small peg. Is this really on? Try it from over here. Maybe I'm just not getting enough leverage. Did it first time this way. Take it to top dead center. Oh, almost. There we go. Just need a little bit more leverage. So I would imagine I would have to kind of jump on it with my right foot if I was on the bike. It does have an electric start too, but you know what? This is just cooler. Whoa, I just noticed that box came open there. What's up with that? Huh. I need to see if I can lock that. So let's shut the bike off. Looks like it takes a key. That just happened. Now this brings up a point. This is not this is not a modern bike. This is pretty much a throwback to the 1950s. You should not be expecting any kind of modern refinements as far as fit and finish, features, or performance. This does have fuel injection, so you don't have the bother of carburetors, but that is pretty much it, my friends. Got a very industrial looking cluster here. Even a little bit of rust starting. This is just from moisture in the air. Speedo, I have to say, pretty rudimentary, but again, to be expected. All right, so let's start this again. Then we'll get on the road and do the review. Ignition on. Take it to top dead center, and one good kick. There we go. So that's the key. Get off the bike and do it. No problem. Fold it back in, and we're off. Get off the center stand. There we go. Now one thing I did notice right away when I was riding it, neutral is very hard to find when the engine is cold. Once it warms up, it'll go in no problem. Down into first. Weird thing here, when you're going down into first and you're in it, it still travels down. Normally, I only say that because on other bikes, at least every other one I've ridden, when you get down into first and you keep trying to shift down, it stops. It hits a stop. Let's do some low speed handling here. Very, very light, as to be expected. It's got a lot of vibration, again, to be expected. This is a huge 500cc single cylinder. So it's got thump. It's got that concussion. Let's go all the way down to idle here. No problem whatsoever with the handling. We're doing like 2 miles an hour. There's no balancing problems whatsoever. This is literally like a kid's toy. This is like I'm on one of those little electric Barbie bikes or something. No throttle. I'm just putzing along here. This has a huge flywheel. So it's going to give you that low speed power, the low speed stability. Clutch is very light. You know what, before we go out here, let me flip around real quick, test the brakes. See what they're like. Let's go up to 20 or so and hit the brakes. Adequate at best. Let's try one more time. Now I don't expect sport brake performance on this. It's got a drum rear and a little tiny single front. About as good as I would expect for this kind of bike. Let me put it that way. It has a lot of nosedive, but it's at least controllable. It has quite a bit of frame vibration. The mirrors are shaking around like Michael J. Fox. Can't see anything out of them. And that's for two reasons. One, because they're too narrow. You definitely have to either put bar end mirrors on it or extend them or something. But there's no point, because these bars are shaking so much from the engine that you can't see anything. So just kind of forget you have mirrors. Just remember what you passed, and that's what's behind you. Oh, who are we kidding? No one's going to pass you on this. Or rather, no one is going to be passed by this. This is not a performance bike. This is probably not even anything I would say take on the freeway. Ah, got something in my eye. This is a bike all about fun. All about going around town, not even taking anybody with you. Almost a toy. I like the turn signals. It has a very typical Japanese feel to it. Single nub in the middle that moves left to right, and then you push it in to disengage. That's a 5-speed. I'm in top gear right now. Speedo, I don't know. We're doing somewhere between 40 and 45. That sucker's bouncing around. Obviously a cable run Speedo. And it's got the old school rolling odometer. Aside from that, you've got your turn signal and bright indicator, and that's it. And then you got the key and a couple dummy lights. You've got a low fuel and a engine trouble light, and that's it. Clutch feel is almost nothing. I mean, it's like an electric switch. There's no resistance to it. Brakes feel good. They don't feel spongy. They just don't stop in a big hurry, that's all. But again, that is to be expected for what they are. And this guy is turning before the light. We'll see how it does in acceleration and stuff once we get through this. Man, I am shifting down to the floor repeatedly, thinking I'm not in first. It has a lot of oomph as soon as you let off the clutch. Oh man, what a kick when you go into the next, even third. It has a huge, I can tell it has a huge flywheel, because when you let off that clutch, that momentum just hits the next gear. Now it's only for like half a second, but it literally feels like somebody is rear-ending the bike. It is that much of a kick when I say it. I mean, it is exactly like somebody tapping the back of your bike in a car. It just kicks you forward. Let's try some acceleration. Let's go down into third here. That's probably a little too high. Let's try fourth. There are very, very short gears in this. You know what? I want to pull over, let this guy go past. Perfect. I will run through the gears. Now there's no tack, and I have no idea what the red line is on this. I'm gonna shift when I kind of feel it, kind of like I did on my Harley. I had an 883, and when I felt that really running out of steam in the last couple thousand RPM, that's when you shift. So that's what I'm going to do here. A lot of vibration through the handlebars, especially on this. You can feel every single firing of that massive cylinder. It's vibrating the mirrors. Not so much through the seat. All right, here we go. Oh, man. 20 miles an hour into second. I'm full throttling it. 40. 50. 60. Now we're in top gear. Really kind of winding out about 70 miles an hour, and my butt is vibrating like you wouldn't believe. Now it's stopping. So above 55 or so, oh my God, does this thing vibrate. I mean, it feels like a massager going on high speed. Not so much here at 50. It's actually pretty darn smooth. I love the sound. I'm in top gear here doing 50, and if I roll on it, it's got a neat little kick to the sound. It's got a thump. It's got that little, it doesn't have a concussion in my chest like a big V twin does, but I can hear it. That is a neat little sound. Wow. Another thing I notice, I feel like I'm falling off the back of the seat. Only when I accelerate. Especially when it kicks into that next gear, my butt feels like it's sliding right back off the edge of the seat. And I am sitting on the edge of this seat. It is, as you saw, a big single catcher's mitt kind of Springer seat. Kind of like one of the fat girl seats on a bicycle that you get at Walmart. That's exactly what this is. And it is completely covered by my big ass. Now I'm feeling the springs here with my left hand. They're not compressed all the way. So it's not actually compressing down or anything like that. But it doesn't have much support, and there's obviously nothing holding you on to the back of the seat. So when you take off, even though it doesn't have that much acceleration, it has that kick when you shift up. You have to hold on with your hands. You absolutely do. This seat is not going to hold you in a position like other bikes would. You may actually start to roll off the back of the seat, is my point. Now the regular Bullet has a big banana seat. That would not have this issue. Having to look behind me because these mirrors are kind of non-existent right now. I want to do another kind of little acceleration. Now I'm holding on because I don't want to kick that. Oh, if you're used to it, if you expect it, it's cool. But I wasn't expecting it when I was trying it there, so that's why it kind of caught me by surprise. Ergonomics, very good. For a tall rider, these pegs are in a great position. My knees, they fall right on the tank pads that it has here. They're molded in. Now let me try to find neutral here. Let me stop first. It's also a little hard to find neutral while you're moving just from all the vibration because, like I said, the light is useless, so you're feeling for it in your toe, but with the vibration you can't. It all blends together. It's very comfortable. Bar width is very good. They're very neutral. They're not too wide. They don't feel especially narrow. I'm stretched out just enough. Okay, here we go. Whee! Second gear. It's got more power than I thought it. Jesus, I wasn't ready for that. It's got more power than I thought it did. That surprises me. I thought, given the numbers, I mean like 25 horsepower, that it would be just a complete joke. But this is actually perfectly usable on the street. I mean, I'm here in traffic on US 19, and if you know 19, you know it's busy and moving. I'm not going to be passing anybody. I'm doing 55 right now. Can't say I'd want to do much more. I'm getting a lot of vibration in the handlebars here. But for just cruising along in the slow lane, you know what? I don't have a problem with it. This is about as fast as I would want to go with this. My hands would be absolutely numb after just a few miles. So bear that in mind. It's a backroads cruiser. Maybe it's a deal breaker. That depends on you. It may actually be for me because I do need to, wherever I go, take roads that are doing 60 to 65. And if I just can't because of the bike not allowing you to do it physically, well, maybe I do need to look at something a little bit more. But I'll tell you what, I dig this bike. I am glad I test rode it though, because I will say I am less inclined to buy it now as I was before I test rode it. I don't see any real deal breakers with it, but it didn't blow me away like I thought it would just from specs and videos and all that kind of stuff. But I still think it is a very cool bike, and I'm glad that I test rode it. All right, so there you go, guys. There's the 2014 Royal Enfield Classic in military green. Thank you very much for watching. And by the way, here's a plug to motorcycle enthusiasts in Spring Hill, Florida. My local Triumph and Royal Enfield and other dealer. Don't forget to check out the site. Share the video, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, let me know what you think, and we'll see you next time.